Alright boys, it is Dcroft, and we are back with the first major CFB26 tournament. Now last year we were obviously able to win the biggest CFB25 tournament. Now what we are watching is going to be the Final Four. Now I want to give you guys a little bit of context about this tourney before we actually get into this game. First and foremost, you guys didn't actually see any other part of the tournament. This is only the Final Four. I had a crazy game in the final 8 to even get here, and the person that I'm playing, who is known as Young Hexian, I'm actually playing I played one of his crewmates in OG2K in the round before. They're both going to run this scheme, which is single back bunch tight end. This is going to be out of Oklahoma State. Now, or excuse me, not Oklahoma State, Ohio State. It's Ohio State playbook that we are going up against. Now, I am personally going to be in the multiple playbook, and one of the reasons is going to be for this 3-3-5 defense. Now, if you guys struggle to stop the run, this is going to be a clinic on how you are going to need to stop the run in this year's game. So the reason why I really like this is because of the gap shoots. One of the reasons why I always like being in this defense is the ability to have good gap shoots. And what you guys are going to see right here is I'm always going to hover basically behind the D tackle. Essentially what that is going to cause is for a little bit of an easier gap shoot for me. So you guys are going to see on that first play, it's very easy for my user just to find one of these lanes to be able to get to the running back. That's what we're always looking for. You can see both of his offensive linemen are targeting the second level. We're essentially hiding behind that offensive lineman and that defensive lineman to go unnoticed. So as you guys can see, first play he does run, very easy tackle for me to have right there. Now, he's going to run a decent amount of hurry up too. It's just kind of the way that they like to run their offense, is they like to run a lot of hurry up. Now, his main passing formation is just going to be the gun bunch strong offset, something that is still very, very good in this year's game. Now, right here, he goes to a little bit of wide trail, and we're able to get a good amount of pressure there. Real quick, boys, if you guys are a CFB26 or a Madden 26 player, you guys want to have more fun and win more, throw touchdowns like this, and then bag the most annoying of offenses, make sure you guys check out civil.gg, where I drop my tournament winning schemes on. We recently did a survey that said 98.1% of players that sign up win more. Make sure you guys use code Dcroft to save you 30% off at the checkout. Once you sign up, you'll get instant access to the schemes to start winning more. Now, right here, we do get to a 3rd and 17. Now, I do want to also mention that this is being played on the same screen. So you guys might be thinking, why is there no stadium pulse? It's because we're in play now. Now, in play now, when you have two different controllers, they can obviously see everything that I am doing. You can see your defensive play call that they pick. You can see any coaching adjustments that they make. And for me, whenever I get to a situation like this, I always like to have my zone drops at like 20, right? You know, I want my hooks at 20. I want my clouds at 20. And he can see that. And I'm almost saying in a situation like this, I don't care if you can see this. I just think that this is the best defense for me to run. And if you can beat this, you can beat this. So as you guys can see, we got to this 4th and 20, and or excuse me, 3rd and 17 right here. And we do have to take a timeout. One of the things that's always a little bit tough in a situation like this is you can't check your play art. If you check your play art, again, the opponent can see it in a game like this. So you have to be mindful of that. It's going to be a little bit different style. It's actually a really old school style of tournament that we were playing. For this, it is just regular teams too. I am using Penn State. The roster update really didn't change a ton about these teams. I still think Penn State's one of the best teams. And right there, we do go to a little bit of a loop. We take away the tight end, and the biggest thing about Georgia and why somebody likes Georgia so much is Zachariah Branch. Now, Zachariah Branch obviously has that spin cycle. He has shifty. He's just going to be able to make a crazy amount of good plays. For me, a little bit sickening right there. This game obviously is a little bit different than Madden, where it's a lot easier to make tackles in the open field than Madden. This game, it's almost impossible. Now, he is, I believe, going to go to single back bunch right here, and he's going to go to his stretch. As you guys can see, that stretch is completely taken away. Going back to what I was talking about earlier with gap shoots, really, if you just take any one of these linebackers and you just kind of hide behind that defensive lineman right there, it's very easy for you, as I said, just to find a gap to be able to shoot one way or another. So again, we'll go ahead and actually play this out right here a little bit more. Boom, boom, boom. And you guys will see that the offensive lineman just essentially doesn't pick me up. For whatever reason, they always want to target the safeties in a defense like this, giving me an easy gap shoot, and really, for me, not having to worry about any form of run defense in this game. Now, that run defense and that concept really should work against anything you guys do play against. There's going to be a couple runs that may throw you off. If you're not great with your user gap shoots, it can potentially be an issue, but for the most part, it is pretty easy and pretty straightforward. Now right here, we do get him on a 2nd and 12, and he motions out his running back right here, which is obviously Zachariah Branch, so technically his receiver. He's using Gadget Package if you're wondering how he's getting him there, and it's a very effective thing. He's using actually Nate Frazier at wide receiver too. And right there, he goes to a little bit of a double slant concept right there. Now, for me personally, I didn't really love that concept. If I just have a yellow zone there, it's kind of tough to throw either one, but a situation like that, I actually did not have any zone there whatsoever. Now we get him onto a 3rd and 5 right here. Not really blitzing a ton, but we do blitz right there, and then we are able to get that interception. So right there, I feel great. You know, we're able to get an interception, we're able to get a stop early, and I feel like we're in a great position to just kind of take over within this game. Now, you're going to see a lot of 3-3-5 mint from him. This is very similar to 3-3-5 odd in Madden 2, if you guys happen to be a Madden player. And what he's going to do is he's always going to show blitz his linebackers. Now, I'm actually going to go fast forward right here. One of the things about playing now is your audibles didn't save, so you're just going to see me do a bunch of audibles right here. And what you guys are going to see is I'm going to be in the gun bunch strong offset. This is an offense I obviously ran last year, and it's just a very, very good offense in this year's game too. So right there, I go to a little bit of a duo call. He has that outside linebacker coming free. You guys are going to see a lot of blitzing from him. Lots and lots of blitzing from him in this game. Now, with this formation, the other formation that I really like in Oregon State is going to be the gun Y off trio close. I think that formation is really good. Now, first pass play of the game, and actually a really big play in this game, this was a little bit crazy to me. So as you guys can see, we get good blocking, we have my comeback open, and you guys will see right there that I end up throwing my comeback, but it goes about 50 yards away from him. So as you guys can see right here, it's a very simple concept. If you guys have watched me play CFB before, you guys will know that this is one of my favorite concepts in the game. We're gonna have a deep post like this, we're gonna have a fade route like this, we're gonna have a drag like this, and then this outside guy, which is B, is gonna be on a little comeback like this. Obviously, I identify hard flat right here, so my read is just going to be to this comeback right here. If we go ahead and play this out, I want to show you guys what happens. So I'm waiting for him to cut. He goes ahead and cut. This is to this receiver right here. I promise you I'm not throwing the tight end right here. And for whatever reason, he misses this throw by more than any quarterback ever. You would assume that I have injured Drew Aller in right now and not a healthy Drew Aller in right now. And as you guys can see, this throw just goes right to him. Obviously, my tight end is never going to make a play on this because the ball just isn't to him. You guys can see, too, that the reticle is over this receiver. Again, orange pass here, too. One of the things that I noticed about play now that did feel very different to me is you just got way more inaccurate. For whatever reason, you got way more inaccurate. You guys can see my reaction right there. I'm almost just stunned. I've played these games a lot. I've never seen a comeback throw that badly. But the reality of it is we get stopped early. He got stopped early. Let's just forget both drives. Let's just act like this is, again, first drive for both of us within this game now. Still kind of sickening because I feel like I put myself in a really good spot to go ahead and go up 7-0, but is what it is. Right there, we go ahead and have the D tackle just walking free right there. Again, this run defense is by far the best run defense in this game. And we are able to get him into a 2nd and long right there. Now, right here, he goes ahead and goes to his bunch strong, his own bunch strong offset right here. Again, it's probably the best passing formation in this game, and it's just something that is super effective. Now, right here, he hits the post over the middle, and you guys can see actually right there, he has an inaccurate himself right there. Again, another orange pass, and it's just something I noticed a lot within these games. A lot of times, quarterbacks just didn't make throws. Now, Gunnar Stockton obviously is a little bit worse than Drew Aller. Drew Aller, for me, was making most of his throws, especially throughout the entire weekend. And really just that was the first time he truly missed a throw. Now right there we do have good defense. And I just can't believe he throws this right here. You guys can see I almost just kind of like, I kind of laugh at this one. If I could go ahead and go back just a little blip here. If it ever lets me. Hold on, boom, boom. You guys can see my user's just right there. I'm kind of just playing as, like my user honestly just kind of goes sleepy. If I just like pause right here, if I just don't move, it's going to be the easiest pick ever. Sadly for me, he just happens to throw it still, and we aren't able to get the stop right there. Kind of sickening, but also just is what it is. Now, he does get to a 1st and goal situation. He goes ahead and actually goes to another run right here. We have the D tackle, again, just walking free. And then we do have him on a 3rd and goal from the 13 right here. Now, in a situation like this, I'm really just playing the goal line, really just want anything thrown short of the goal line right here, come up, make a tackle, and just kind of go from there. So again, we get what we want. He throws something underneath. We're able to come up and make a tackle, and we get him on a 4th and goal right here. Now, he ends up going for this, and I don't blame him, especially with the way that CFB is. I feel like you always need to maximize your points, and what you guys are going to see right here is this double slant concept. So he's going to go slant, slant like this, and I don't exactly know what happens because this defender is just in a hook right here. You can see for whatever reason, he just starts to run this way during the play. And I talked to him after the game. I don't know why this happened, and he said he had never even seen this happen either. And he just ends up having a wide open touchdown on this play. I know I'm kind of spoiling right here, but just want to show you guys what did happen. So if I go ahead and pause right here, you can see this is just a hook defender. Just for whatever reason, comes super far inside. Hookers don't typically come that far inside. If I go ahead and just pause right here, it's just allowing that second slant to come open. It's almost like he matches, which is a little bit bizarre, especially when I have my zone drops on. As you guys can see, he's able to get 7 right there. So really good drive by him. And we do end up going down 7-0. And again, I'm kind of just treating this as my first drive myself right here. I'm kind of throwing away that first drive. In my head, I'm saying, okay, it happened. Something that may be a little bit unfortunate that I couldn't really control. Let's just go ahead and take advantage of my next drive. So right here, we go to a pretty simple concept. We have the tight end on the sideline. That is one of our favorite plays. That is just going to be flood right there. Really like the tight end zig. I think the tight end zig is always just going to be a super easy and effective route. Now, one of the things I do want to highlight in this game is he does have Roman Wilson, I think is his name, with Platt quick jump at this linebacker spot. This guy was actually kind of giving me fits, as you guys can see right there. He just comes in and screams at me on that play. Now, I am half sliding to the right every single time. That's the protection that typically works really well for me against this style of defense. But because he had Platt quick jump right here, it did just make that defense that much crazier. And it made me essentially call either play action, which just didn't make the Platt quick jump activate, or it ended up making me just block one of my players, whether it be the tight end or the running back, every single play. Right there, back-to-back really good defensive plays from him. And kind of puts us in a 3rd and 10 in a not ideal situation right here. Again, you guys are going to see the Platt quick jump, but one of the things I love in this game is going to be the stemmed curls. Stem curls are just going to be a very effective route in this year's game. Really can utilize these routes out of any formation. You don't have to be even in a specific formation to use a stem curl. As long as you have a stem curl, it is going to be a very, very effective route. Now, right here, we go to a little bit of an inside zone right here. And one of the reasons why I really like Penn State is because of Nicholas Singleton. I actually think he's one of the best running backs in the regs as a whole. The only other one that I think is kind of comparable is going to be Isaac Brown from Louisville, and then also Jeremiah Love from ND. Those are probably the only 2 running backs I'd say I take over Nicholas Singleton. But obviously, those rosters just aren't as good as what I think Penn State's roster is. Now, we go ahead and get into the 2nd and 4, get into the red zone right here, and we do end up calling a little bit of flood here again, just a very easy underneath route to hit, and we're able to pick up a good chunk of yards, get to a 1st and 10 from the 13 right here. We go to a little bit of an inside zone, and Nicholas Singleton is able to get 7 right there. One of the things about this defense, it's not really good run defense. The run defense is pretty lackluster from it, to the point where I feel like I can comfortably call a run really at any point throughout the game. Now, right here, he goes to a little bit of a halfback duo. Probably the first time I messed up one of my gap shoots. You guys are going to see right here. I need to always stand off a little bit with my linebacker. You guys can see I'm just a little bit late of getting off with my linebacker. That's going to have him picked up. And again, those are the runs I really can't give up. I feel like giving up those runs are going to put me in a situation that's going to allow him just to move the ball too easily on offense. I'm okay with him passing, but I just don't want him to have those easy run plays. Right here, really good defense by us. He goes to his curl route. Now, I do have AJ Harris at safety with knockout. Would kind of like a little bit better of an animation right there, but kind of a similar route concept that I went to, of just that deeper curl down the field. Again, regardless of what skill level you are at, just use those curls. They're so hard to identify if they are a streak or if they are going to be a curl route. You want to sum it up typically to like 15 yards, I would say. That's kind of the sweet spot. And then right there, he goes to his little wide trail play right here. Now, this play is a good play. I thought I was in a little bit better of a situation to have it. So essentially what it is right here is he's going to have his deep post. He's ran this play a couple of times. So deep post here, He's going to have this angle route here, and then he's going to have, I forget exactly, one of these guys is on a streak, one of these is on a drag. I can't remember which one is which right here, but that's the general concept of this route concept in terms of how people want to run it. So if you guys can go ahead and see right here, it's kind of my job. Oh, he actually has him on a corner right here. I actually messed up right there. I switched stick onto this guy to take away this deeper route down the field. Yeah, obviously earlier in the game threw that super quickly off the break. I tried to switch stick back onto this defender. You guys are going to see, instead of getting like a fluid animation, I kind of get that 360 animation on that switch stick, allowing him just to have an easy read over the middle of the field. Now, again, I'm still honestly fine with that. I feel like we defended that a lot better than we did the first time. And if that's how he wants to live on offense, again, I'm fine with that. I'm not really going to sweat it too much. Now, 1st and 10 right here, he goes to his little run. There's my gap shoot right there. I missed the dive tackle, but again, you guys can see the concept that we're always just going to have an easy gap shoot for us to hit every single time. Now, if you are an Ultimate Team player, Ultimate Team, I find it a little bit easier to stop the run in comparison to Regs. Regs, you obviously have these crazy fast running backs. You obviously have these receivers that you can put at running back too with the gadget package. You know, my fastest linebacker is only 90 speed on this team. It's this Rojas fella. And he's good, don't get me wrong, I like this cat. But he's not the type of player that I think is going to easily stop the run just by himself. Obviously, Mutt's a little bit, or Cut, excuse me, is a little bit similar in skill rating, where you're not going to have these crazy advantages all over the field. Now right here, good defense by Mia, and again, I just can't believe he threw this. I feel like I had a couple of these this game where I almost just can't believe he threw a lot of these routes. So like right here, I'm fine with how we played defense, and again, I kind of switched it onto this defender to try to bait to get back here, but he ends up just throwing the drag. If you can see, if I just don't switch stick on this play, it probably is a pick, and then if it's not a pick, it's at least a knockout. At a bare minimum, we do have him on a 4th down. You guys can see, I think he's just going to end up throwing this guy. Kind of a bad switch stick from me here. There wasn't really any need to have that aggressive of the switch stick in a spot like that. And you guys can see in the top right, I'm always just kind of chuckling like, okay, like I just can't believe he threw it, right? Now he's going to go to a little bit of a trips look right here, gun trips wide over. And a lot of people in this formation, they really do like to call some type of inside zone on their first play. He goes with a little bit of a halfback dive right there. Good run defense by us. We do take a timeout right here. Now we get him onto a 2nd and 6. He's motioning out his running back here again. He goes back to that double slant concept. And again, it's one of those reads that I'm a little bit surprised that he threw it. You can see it's just kind of into it's just right into coverage, right? I'm assuming that he probably thought that because he had this double set concept earlier, that he'd probably just have it again, right? We obviously talked about like boom, boom. Okay, let's draw it a little bit better. I'm assuming he probably just thought he had this again and this linebacker would just follow right here. Reality of it is that the linebacker just doesn't follow on this. And he just kind of throws it into coverage right here. You can see it. My defender, man, it's like one of those 50-50s, right? If it's just a knockout, it's cool. Him catching it is a little bit right? I obviously never want him to catch pass like that in a situation like that. Then we go ahead and we get him onto a 3rd and inches right here. And for the very first time he throws the bubble, we were obviously selling out for a bubble defense the entire time. Sadly for us, he is able to at least throw the bubble right there and able to pick up the 1st down. It actually puts him in a perfect spot right here. But the biggest thing is he doesn't actually kill this clock. So you guys can see, I'm actually down to no timeouts right here. I would have taken a quarterback knee in a situation like this. I would have then had around, 30 seconds to potentially score. And he would have a 2nd and goal from, let's just say the 2, right? 2nd and goal from the 2, for me, I find it very, very easy to score. And it just kills really any chance that I'm going to have to score on my next drive. I'm actually so happy when he scores right here. When he gets that fall forward animation, I'm actually so happy when he scores right there. Because I really think in a spot like this, minute 9, even with no timeouts, I really just feel like I'm always going to get 7 in a situation like this. Now right here, we do go ahead and run the ball on this 1st down. Now the reason why I end up running the ball right there is actually just to get off onto a hash mark. I really just don't want to have this drive killed because I'm just stuck on the middle of the field. So I want to just go ahead and run, get the ball to a hash mark right there, and just kind of go from there. Now you guys are going to see a lot of flipping from me here too. You guys are going to see I come out on the short side with my bunch. Typically like to run into the wide side of the field. And right there again, you're seeing that platinum quick jump just fly in right there. half side right just really isn't doing anything for me this game. I end up actually going to base protection at a point this game, just to have a little bit better protection. I noticed that base just was working a lot better in this game than half side right. Now we do get onto a second 16 right here, and at this point I really am just playing for 3. I don't even really care about getting 7 on this drive at this point. I really just want to get 3 in a spot like this. Now we get a good chunk of yards right there. We get into our 3rd and 7, and this is really one of the game-changing points in the game. So right here, what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to go back to flood, and what I'm noticing a lot of is that he has this single high safety, or he's running just a lot of cover 3. So we're going to go right here, we're going to call flood, we're going to run boom, 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 and then this guy over the middle of the field like this. Now, if we go ahead and just play this out right here, what you guys are going to see is that this outside fade from number 5 is going to be wide open. You guys are going to see it. Now, one of the big things about this, I play on small pass lead. Small pass lead, what it does is when I hold left trigger, which is the freeform button, you guys are going to see the reticle at the top of the screen. So let's just go ahead and view this. We have this big circle right here. I'm going to try to draw this right here, right? If you play on none pass lead, you can only throw the ball in that area of the field. Obviously, if you have it inaccurate, it's not going to go into that exact area, but it's the only area of the field that's going to go into. What you guys are going to see is that there's this essentially semicircle that's slightly outside right here. This is going to be small. When I hold this left trigger, well, actually, I have my controller right here. Left trigger right here like this, and I freeform it at basically, we'll say 9 o'clock. This might be a little bit more at like 10 or 11 o'clock, so something like this. What you guys are going to see is I'm able just to pass lead it completely away from this defender. This defender is just not going to be able to get all the way over here. While he might be able to get here, he's just not going to be able to get all the way over here. So let's just go ahead and play it out. Drew Aller throws a complete dot right here. And as you guys can see, that defender, if that ball is like right here, that's probably a pick. Small pass lead makes it not a pick. And we are able to get 7 right there to go into a 14-14 situation going into half. Nothing really happens right here. We'll just go ahead and fast forward through this. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so 1st and 10 right here from my 25. We go back to this gun Y off trio close right here. Really just running a lot inside zone at this point. He really just hadn't been stopping inside zone out of this. And really, if somebody can't stop something, I have no shame in running it every single play. Right here, really good defense by him. He did a really good job at taking away that play. Anytime I had run like a slot zig or anything like that, he did a really good job at just taking it away with his user. He was playing pretty aggressive defense. It was mostly just cover 3 hard flats throughout the majority of this game, but he did a really good job. And then right there, we do get onto a 4th and 7. And again, it's just this plat quick jump, just really causing havoc. I feel like it's really the only way that he's been able to get good defense played this game. It's just this plat quick jump. You know, that was just causing a lot of issues with the blocking that I had. And it kind of forced me, as I said, to call a lot more play action throughout this game. Now, right here, we do go ahead and call play action here. And I really don't have anything, and you guys will see at the final second, I just kind of have to throw something right here. We do have a really good click on and ag right here. He actually only sends 2 here as well. Now, I know if I have a perfect pass right here, it's just going to be my best chance at potentially scoring. So I want to try to catch this ball right here. I'm going to click onto this receiver and then hold triangle or Y to just get the ball at the greatest point. Obviously, aggressive catching is something that people do all the time. It's something that makes throwing the ball a lot easier. So you guys are going to see the ball goes almost to the 46 right here. But by me clicking on, I'm going to catch the ball closer to like the 44 or the 43, just not allowing his defender to catch the ball right there. So really good defense by him. Probably what should have been a stop for him right there. And for me, lucky that I was actually able to get a 1st down right there. Now right here again, you guys are just gonna see it's just like I just consider this the plat quick jump show. Again, you guys are gonna see this guy is just causing complete havoc every single play. I think it's after this play I finally decide to switch up my pass protection. I actually have a touchdown on that play there too, if I just don't get super screamed at right there. But again, just something that he did really, really good this game was his spot quick jump. Now right there, I do go to play action. Again, play action is not going to allow those quick jumps to activate, and it's just going to make passing the ball a lot easier. Now right here, we do get onto a 3rd and 12. We throw a dot towards the sideline, and then we do end up having this ball go out of bounds, and I end up challenging it. And I kind of go back and forth if I should or shouldn't have challenged this. Now right here, I do think that I get this ball in bounds. I really do. I just never get the angle that I want to actually see of it right here. And unfortunately for us, this is going to be ruled an incompletion. Again, shoe size, if it was probably like a 9 instead of like 11, you can see Hexy's reaction. He's almost just stunned that that wasn't a completion either. And again, it puts us on another 4th down on this drive. Now, right here, 4th and 12, again, I kind of have to call play action in a spot like this because I just can't let Platt quick jump beat me. I feel like if I let Platt quick jump beat me, it's going to be really tough. Right here, we do have a play action. He gets a bad switch stick right there, and then we are able to playmaker upfield and throw a dot right there. Again, I felt like Bunch Strong just wasn't doing a great job at blocking throughout this game. I felt like throughout the entirety of this game, Bunch Strong was just doing a really, really bad job at just truthfully blocking in general. Now right here, 1st and 10, we go back to a little bit of an inside zone right here, and we are able to now get into a 2nd and 3. Now, 2nd and 3 right here, I go to a little bit of a bubble. Don't really know why. I just didn't assume that this guy all the way out here was going to be in a hard flat. You guys are going to go ahead and see that this defender right here, he's in a hard flat, which just wasn't really something he was doing. It's never going to be a pick, but it's probably not going to be something that's typically pretty open. And then right here, I try to go back to one of my simple zig concepts right here. And really, I think this is actually kind of a crazy of a play. So right here, what you guys are going to see, this guy's actually in a spy right here. And again, he does a really good job at taking away my zig. I was really never able to throw my zig throughout the entirety of the game. So this guy's in a spy right here. And in my head, right, I just think that I'm going to have this in route completely open, right? So I throw this in route, and then all of a sudden, the spy just drops back and is able to get into a position. And he gets, again, just super unfortunate to not catch a pick right there. But what you guys will see actually on this play is that when he spies him out, he switch sticks onto him for half a second, which I think is what ended up messing up how he ended up playing. Because you guys can see, they'll never drop down like that unless they are in a spy. And I ended up just taking my 3. I feel like I'm playing good defense, and I essentially just want to continue this game on defense. Right there, we do have the good gap shoot. Again, one of the tough things is that his running backs are just so fast. Even if I get the gap shoot, he's going to have those times where he can potentially just take off in a spot like that. Then we go ahead and get him into a 2nd and 4 right here. We play really good defense. We are able to get to the sideline. We're able to get the tackle short of the line to game to get him into a 3rd and inches. Now right here, I thought this was for sure going to be a run, so I'm kind of selling out for a run right here. And he actually does something he hadn't done for the entirety of the game, which is throw a speed corner route right here. And I try to switch stick it. I'm just a little bit late right here. He has a very good pass lead. I don't think you could actually pass lead this any better if you tried to. And what ends up happening is it kind of dumbs out my defender right there. I really need this to be a tackle. Sadly for us, Zachariah Branch is able just to turn the corner, and he's able to get 7. I will say that's kind of sickening for me. Whenever you give up a free touchdown like that, you really just feel like you could do so much more on defense. But sadly for us, he actually just throws a great route right there. Then right here, we go ahead and go back to the curl that worked earlier in this game. That is Clifford. He's only an 88 speed receiver. I really, really like him in this game. Now right here, we go ahead and get onto a 2nd and 6 right here. See what we end up, I actually can't remember what we end up calling. I thought we, okay. I thought we ran the ball on this play. I guess I'm wrong. But again, just go back to our curls. Again, we're just going to our curls in different formations right here. Just trying to attack with different concepts. Or the same concepts in different formations. We go to a little bit of a play action right there. Really good defense by him. I'm essentially just throwing the ball away on that play. And again, he's just getting really good sheds. This team has just got such good sheds throughout basically the entirety of the game. We do run a little bit of an inside zone. We do get the 1st down right there. And again, really playing this drive for 7. I'm never going to kick 3 in a spot like this. For me, kicking 3 in a spot like this is just something I just can never do. Now, right here, we do go to a little bit of an auto motion play right here. Go ahead, staying tall in the pocket. I do think we had the crosser open, but, you know, I think whenever you're playing a game like this, you always want to take the safer potential options. So for me, I just try to take the yards that I know I can get. Now, right there, we go to a little bit of an inside zone right there again. Again, really, I feel like anytime I had called this inside zone, I was just having a lot of success with it. Then we go to our trips inside zone right here, and then we do get into a 3rd and 1 right here. Now, whenever I got to this spot, there is a halfback direct snap in Oregon State that I just love to call. It's one of my favorite calls in this game. Halfback direct snaps are such a good red zone play, especially when you get down to this area of the field. First time he blows it up, I go ahead and call it turbo right here, and then I just go right back to it. Typically, turbo run blocking is really, really good. And as you guys can see right there, we're able to pick it up. And I'm actually just going to go back to it again right here. In my head, now I'm on first and goal from like the, 6-inch line. There's just no way you're going to stop it 4 straight plays if I just go back to it. And as you guys are able to see, we're able to get 7 and able to go up 24 to 21. Now, first and 10 from him, and in my head, I'm thinking, man, okay, I just need to get 1 stop right here. If I just get 1 stop right here, I feel like I played good offense. Outside of that one drive, I had one drive where I did play really bad offense to the first drive out of my second half. But I just feel like, man, okay, I played one good defensive drive here. We force him into punting, getting a turnover, whatever it may be, and we're just going to be chilling. Now, right here again, we do sell out for the run right there. He does actually end up running the ball right there. And then we do get him onto a 3rd and 4. Now, what does he end up calling right here? If it's the play, I think it is. Yep, he goes back to this corner route right here. And again, I just need a little bit more from my corner right here. This is an outside quarter. So right here, what I'm actually running is just a little bit of cover 4 right here on this side. So this is an outside quarter right here. I'm just assuming he's going to play it slightly better. My switch stick isn't the best. You guys can see I'm actually coming down to try to take away the underneath route. Because again, if you guys kind of look at this route right here, my player has outside leverage right here. And this ball is actually more favorable in the position my player is than his player is at this spot. You guys are going to see, again, just another very good pass lead. And by the time my player turns right there, he's just not able to get into the spot where he's able to make a pick. The second time I've given that up, you know, honestly, the first time that I gave it up, it was just, again, perfect pass lead by him right there. Felt like he threw it a little bit early right there, but he's still able to make the catch on that play. Now he's going to go back to his trips formation right here. Now I'm thinking he might try to make this last drive. Really good defense by us right there. He's able to take off with Gunner Stockton. He's able to slide right there. And he's able to pick up a couple of yards. Whenever he goes to that trips formation, it's typically just a verticals look. There's not really a ton of plays that you can really call out of that formation, but verticals. Now again, he goes back to his gunbutt strong offset, calling the plays that he likes out of this formation. A lot more corners. He definitely was running just way more corners than I was. Right there, he goes to a little bit of a speed flat. We're able to get a knockout, and we're able to get him on a 3rd and 6. And again, I feel like I played good defense throughout this game. Obviously, he was able to complete that 4th and goal. That was a little bit unfortunate. And then he has had just a couple more scary reads. Now, right here, this one was kind of sick for me. This is like the 2nd or 3rd time now where I just feel like I just never anticipate somebody to throw this. Again, great switch sticks by us. We do a great job this entire way of just defending it. You can see when he throws this ball, we are all over it. We're completely covered. And in my head, it's a little bit bizarre because I know I can obviously see this. Like, this is my same screen. But it's one of those ones where I just almost can't believe you're actually throwing it. And obviously, I'm seeing this quarterback step up right here. And processing this is a lot more difficult in this spot than I think you guys realize. When you see the quarterback step up, I essentially click on to try to hit the quarterback right there. And you guys can see, I'm almost, again, just kind of chuckling right there. I'm like, man, that's like the 2nd or 3rd one where I'm like, man, is that really the read that we're making right there? And, you know, it was a good read by him. You know, I end up clicking off. He probably didn't have anything else. I would love to get him on a 4th down right here. But it is what it is. So we get him into a 1st and 10 right here. And now he does something slightly different right here. He had been running so much duo. I was kind of just selling out for the duo run shoe. He ends up just going to an inside zone and just having an easy walk-in touchdown. Now, this drive is going to be the most essential drive. Down 4. I'm trying to make this last drive. I'm only down to 2 timeouts. I cannot get anything else but 7 on this drive. And I actually think I make a really big mistake on this drive. So whenever you're in a drive like this, you're always trying to make it last drive. You're trying to kill as much time as possible. Now, in this spot, I actually take a shot play right here where I don't think I probably should have taken a shot play right here. What you guys are going to see is I go back to my standard like flood play, the play that we threw a pick on the very first play of the game. And our post is just going to be wide open, right? We throw our post wide open. Now, the thing about Penn State and the way I had Penn State set up is that this is Clifford. I think his name is Ryan Clifford. He has 88 speed. He is very, very slow. So he is not going to be able to take off and score right here like this. The thing that I try to do, though, is I try to score and take off and get 6 on this play. So when I go ahead and play this out right here, you guys are going to see I pick up a lot of extra yards, and those are yards I probably shouldn't have picked up. This now essentially puts me into a situation where clocking becomes very hard. I don't really want to give him the ball back, even though I don't think he's played the best offense ever. He's probably good enough to get 3 on his next drive. So this now forces me into a very tough clocking situation. You guys are going to see I have the shoe clock turned on right now. And hike the ball at 1, we call a little bit of an inside zone, and he does a really good job at blowing it up. Now for my second mistake this drive is I had so much success calling inside zone throughout the entirety of this game. I honestly get a little bit too cute right here. You guys are gonna see this pin pull toss. I thought it was just gonna be free for the way that he was running defense. I thought the way that this was going to be blocked up was a lot different. Especially once I see he's using this backer right here. What I thought was gonna happen with this pin pull toss is I was gonna be able to have this defender, like I'm assuming that this guy will be blocked. And then I have 1, 2, and then 3, 4, basically people out here to block, where I'm going to be able just to have an easy walk in first right here. Sadly for us though, on this play, when I go ahead and play it out right here like this guy just doesn't get blocked, like completely whiffed on this block. And you guys can see, I get exactly what I want out here. Literally to perfection, I get exactly what I want out here. If I just get this block, we are having an entirely different talk right now about how this did end up getting played out. Again, he just simply runs by. You know, he just simply runs by right here. Instead of us getting the multiple numbers out on the edge right there, like I thought we were, we get forced into a 3rd and 16. And again, this situation now becomes so tough because you really don't want to get a touchdown on this play, but at the same time, if you get a touchdown, you almost have to take the touchdown on this play. So we go to a little bit of a gun Y off trio close right here. I'm going to end up running my curl play right here. And again, I'm assuming that this flat is going to pull this guy a little bit further right here. So you guys are going to see I end up throwing this right here. The reality of it, it does not actually pull right here. And you guys are going to see that that defender comes in. Probably actually should have been game right there. And we get onto now a 4th and 16. And again, just such a poorly played red zone drive by me. On this sequence, but we still on our 4th and 16. So I go to a little bit of a corner strike play right here. Again, very, very simple, very easy play that I do like to call right here. He ends up only sending 3 right here. I really just don't think I have anything on this play. You know, very, very good defense. We have that post coming over the middle of the field. I feel like the only thing I may have been able to throw is like if I just playmaker this guy up, maybe I get him into a perfect spot right here. He has a really good switch trick. I don't really have a ton right there. He's able to get the pick right there. We are able to make the tackle, but sadly for us, that is basically going to be game. So boys, we do end up losing in the Final Four this year. Honestly, a game I feel like of just missed opportunities for me. I feel like there was a lot of chances in this game that I had to essentially pull away with this game, especially after that first drive. We weren't able to do it. I feel like he was able just to keep getting those like 3rd down conversions. I think my user was a little bit too sleepy this game. A lot of reads that he made that if I just stick with it, probably just a simple pick. But you know, at the end of the day, great game to Hexy. He played a very, very good game. We'll be breaking down the other games that we did see from this on this channel throughout the rest of the week. I'll show you guys the final play of this game. We do actually have a chance at a punt return right here. I have King Mac, my fastest player right here at 89 speed, or excuse me, at 98 speed. I actually thought for a half second we might be able to break this. I feel like if I almost do like a loop-de-loop right here, like a standard like run back the other way, maybe, but I think it would have been so tough for us to be able to ever get anything on that game. But GG's to Hexseed. Obviously for us, we weren't able to come out on top of that one. Appreciate you guys' support as always on these videos. Again, we're going to be posting only CFB content on the channel going forward. See you guys all next time.